Alright, I managed to get another video up here. I've been dealing with some computer problems, sound problems, and just the way things are going lately. The desktop computer, which is a PC that runs off of Windows 10, apparently had an update and it kind of blew out my sound. So, kind of been screwing around with that all the time. But anyway, appreciate your patience, and obviously these are some very, very small fish. Trying to get the camera to focus on them, it's not easy. These are 2-day-old all red albinos. It looks like I finally turned a corner with the all red albino strain, getting some fry out of them. Now, this was in the tank with about 12 females and 3 males. So I'm not entirely sure which female had them, which kind of stings, but the ones that have thinned out the most were a long fin one and a regular fin one. Now I'm showing these, which aren't too exciting, because there are some that I see that I'm going to be culling or putting into their own tank. This one, and this one back here, that guy, Yow. And if you catch the similarity with them, they're not swimming right. Give it another couple of days for them to straighten out. But generally, the first culls are the weakest ones, which are ones with defects, which this counts as. But there's only about 3 or 4 of them in there. So it leads me to believe that it was one of the older females that had them. So, and these are, I'll get to these things later. It's not orange juice. And this tank is a small tank. It's very dirty in the front. I can't get that off. But these were, there's a lot more in there that I'm not picking up. These were just born within about the last hour. And the interesting thing is there are no screwy looking ones. It's also possible that the adults, mainly it's the females. The males really don't bother with fry in the tank, but the females go after them like it's the best food they've ever eaten. So anyway, you can get the idea. These are excellent, especially for a day old. I did give them a small feeding of live baby brine shrimp. I don't think this might focus on it. There you go, you can see them moving. So I don't want to put in any more than that because I don't want to foul the tank. Well, it's just a small container. We'll be in a 2.5 gallon tank within 2 days. And then after that, I will clean out a 5 or a 10 and get them in there. That's going to be that's generally how I do it. I like keeping them in a small container when they're first born within the first few days, because that way you can control the area of the food and they don't have to go searching for it. So eventually, they're only an hour old, they're not too bright yet. They're going to go over and hang in this corner, we hope. All right. But they do have pink bellies, which indicates that they've been eating the sea monkeys, which is very good. That's a great first meal for them. Why did the melon jump into the lake? He wanted to be a watermelon. A watermelon. How awful is that? Oh my God, that's awful. Alright, well that stunk. So anyway, I'll get to this next. I've been having amazing hatches with the sea monkeys lately. You can kind of get an idea how much is in here. This is all from one hatcher. There's a ton of it everywhere. Now this will feed all the fish in the house. Except for some of the adult guppies I don't give the food to. The live baby brine shrimp. I really don't want them getting too fat or chesty, the males, and having any difficulty more than they normally have with feeding or with getting to the females. So anyhow, so that's a little brief thing on these, and I'll add something else to this. And I'm still trying to get my computer to start up. All right, the other thing I thought I could show is the mystery guppies are finally solved. Now, I did lose the adult female, so these were from her first drop of fry, and they are red Moscows. So this is probably the only nice male, but the tail isn't that good. This male has some black in it, which I don't like, but since I don't have too many males, I'm going to have to use him and do a cull in the future to try to just get it down to red Moscows. Same thing with that one. There's some black in it, which I don't like. Color-wise, this one is the best. There's some black in the dorsal I don't like. But I do have, I think about another dozen fry growing out. And they also include a couple of albinos in there, which should be interesting. I will definitely use the albinos as breeders with probably with these. Now the black is probably coming from some of these females like this one, but basically since I had bought a pair and the male had died in transit, I really didn't have anything to work with. So this will be time consuming to fix, and in the meantime it's just going to take up 2 tanks in the beginning, so that's not so bad. All right, I will show some other stuff. Now, these will be a little bit tough to see, but it's a nice big drop of the swordtails. I had koi swordtail trio out in the tub outside, and it looks like the glass on the inside is a little bit dirty. But anyway, I got a nice big drop from her, the one female, because it was a reverse trio. They are not albinos, they're just really like a gold-bodied baby swordtail at this point. So I don't know if they will turn into koi swordtails in the future, you know, once they develop, because when live bearers develop, the first a couple of months is for growth, and then after that you see some color and fin shape and stuff growing in. So I'll probably find out in a couple months if they're really koi swordtails, or if they're just like an orange swordtail. I really can't get this to focus on it. Maybe if I dim the light a little bit there. The fish are gone. Alright, it's not working. Hey, what kind of a car does Yoda drive? A Toyota. A Toyota. Ah, it's terrible. Alright, and I'll wrap up the video with this, which isn't too much to look at. But this was from my cross of Red Delta to Pingu. And it's interesting. Not too much to see as of yet, but they're definitely like a red bicolor. And I believe I have 2 trios. That female's not looking good, so she may have to come out. So, but it's interesting. It's something I will keep working on. I don't have any fry out of them yet, which should change soon because these 2 females are filling up. And these aren't very active fish. They don't like the light overhead. I was kind of hoping this guy would turn to the side. And he finally did. So now you can see him, sort of, kind of. There's one of them. So it's an interesting cross result. And they're not easy to get on here. Come on, guys. Alright, might finally be able to see one. There we go. So that's something. That's interesting to work with. You can see a lot of the Red Delta in it. Really not much with the Pingu except for the size. And that, what I mean by that is the Pingu genes affected the size. So they're not really cooperating. But hopefully I'll get some fry out of them pretty soon. And I guess that'll do it. That'll wrap it up. I'll try to have a video up a little bit quicker. And there's a nice look at the plants. And I'll see you in a couple of days.